Welcome back to Everything Money. Today we're talking about Airbnb. You will learn the financials behind this company using our Everything Money software, and we will translate these financials into what you should be paying for this company moving forward. If you're looking to trade Airbnb, at the end of the video, we will show you the charts with Mo, the trends. He'll show you how to trade this company at a quicker pace. Why should you be watching this video and listening to us? I bring your questions and concerns about Airbnb to a couple guys who own and operate over $100 million in real estate, multiple businesses, and stocks. They will provide you with the mindset about investing in this company, and we'll show it to you right now. I give you the man, the myth, the legend that you love and hate, Paul Gabriel. Go ahead, Paul.
Did the dab go away yet?
You're still holding on to it, but I've been told it. I'm staying with it for another 2 or 3 years.
Oh, I'm talking
2 or 3 years.
I'm talking 20 or 30 years.
Tell them about that flossing Instagram page for Everything Money Investing.
I just started flossing yesterday, so that's why I thought you were talking about that. I was bragging that I just started flossing.
You're right on time.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Guys, follow us on Instagram, Everything Money's new Instagram account, and then follow us personally so that way we don't feel left out. So guys, Airbnb. Now, this is our Everything Money software, which we created because we want to analyze companies. Now, one thing I will say, when I first created this, I like to look at companies where I can predict with reasonable accuracy what they're going to make in the future.
As opposed to speculating.
Yes, and the more history we have, the easier it is to see what's going to happen in the future, right? You can sit there and now the future is still unknown whether the company's been around for 100 years or 1 year. The future is still unknown. But I think we all agree that if you can see consistencies in the company over a 100-year period, it's much easier to make a determination in the future versus 1 year.
This is a highly disruptive company, Paul. It does make sense, like we did Uber earlier. It does make sense that this could take over, I guess not all hotels, but it's a hell of an idea. And I question.
I do think this is disruptive.
I will ask you, and we'll talk about in the videos, I can't like Uber. I can't understand how if they don't make a lot of money, why not? Because it seems like the overhead on a company like this is zilch. It might be a couple people and a calculator in a headquarters somewhere.
Well, yeah, I don't. The good news about the thing I like about Airbnb is, so first off, we don't have much history, but look at this gross profit. This gross profit's like 80%.
There you go.
I mean, that's a huge number, guys. So every extra sale I get, just yesterday, a friend of mine, just 2 days ago, a friend of mine booked a house in California on Uber. And of course, they're advertising X amount of dollars a day. Well, it doesn't include their service charges and all that stuff. At the end of the day, it's about 20% more.
I hate when they do that.
Well,
these
that's the way it
service
is.
charges. I got to be more ready for it, Paul.
Well, it's like kayak.com. I remember years and years ago when you found a ticket, it didn't put the tax and all that stuff in there. Now it puts it all in there, right?
Yeah.
I just think it's a matter of time before that starts to happen. When I start to sit there and say all in with all fees, blah, blah, blah. Because the other thing is, the fees also depend on how long you're staying.
Right.
So it's kind of hard. But either way, I love Airbnb. I use Airbnb.
You've used one?
Are you kidding? Of course I have.
Me too, yeah.
Where at?
New York City, Florida,
Wow.
Texas. I
Nice.
rented out the Mexico house once on Airbnb. Yeah, but I don't get as much rent as doing it, the normal way. Plus, you have to have these weeks all tied up. It's just not worth it for me.
So typically we would use our 8-pillar analysis to look at a longer company, an older company to see the financials. For a younger company like this, Paul, how would we move forward if we're looking to invest in this?
Well, look at this stuff. What $2.45 billion to $5.3 billion in revenue. That's double.
Pretty good.
Look at the profit. It lost $130 million.
That's good. Okay. Oh, boy.
Hated it.
Mo, do you see this?
Say something billion?
$4.3 billion loss.
Yikes.
What does that mean? What's going on over
They
there?
lose a lot of money.
Well,
Shares
that was-
outstanding.
What year was that?
That was last year, the last 12 months.
Okay.
So as an investor, it's a lot harder to make a determination on the value of this company when you have massive losses. Yes, you have revenue growth, but the losses are also increasing at a much faster pace. When's that going to stop? I remember Amazon in the early days saying they were going to be profitable before the end, before the 2000s were done. 2010 rolled around, they were still losing money hand over fist. So remember, companies are going to be very optimistic about their future, but what happens if all of a sudden we hit a recession? What's going to happen to Airbnb rentals?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to drop.
Of course they are.
I mean, yeah.
The other thing
We
is,
saw what happened during COVID.
the other thing is, I only use Airbnb when I'm like using a big group. If I want to stay, like I'm going to Dallas this weekend, I got a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I probably could have gotten a great house for a lot cheaper than my hotel, but I just want I want the ability to have everything taken care of me. Somebody comes in, cleans for me, all that stuff. Well worth it. Now, that might just be me, but I think for bigger groups, it's worth it for Airbnb.
So for new investors who are just getting the game, this is one of those sexy stocks. It has a bright future. What are your thoughts, Paul? I mean,
guys, the airline industry in 1905 didn't exist yet. 1920, the car industry was in its infancy. It had a really bright future. How many people travel now for an airplane versus 100 years ago? How many people have a car now versus 100 years ago? The future was nothing but bright. And you have thousands and thousands of companies that have declared bankruptcy. It's not a coincidence. Just because the future is bright for an industry, if you have 1,000, it's like I always tell people about moving to a big city. Oh, there's so much opportunity there. Well, yeah, you and everybody else believe that, so they all go there and the competition is huge.
Does this company have a moat as Airbnb, as Warren Buffett would like?
I think the biggest issue for Airbnb is the fact that they have regulations within cities that are going to cause a problem. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cities can start just regulating. We almost bought a house on Lake Lanier last year in Georgia. The neighborhood said, nope, not allowed to have short-term rentals. So we didn't buy it.
Yeah, I remember that. What a beautiful house that was.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. On the water and everything. It was great.
So I just don't see a lot of competition with Airbnb quite yet. I mean,
well, yeah, there's not a lot. Well, VRBO exists. VRBO has been around for a long time.
VRBO's there. I mean, the
Verbo.
hotel industry is there. It ain't going away.
But I like the fact that they made it easier to rent out your house that's sitting on the side.
Yeah.
I do think it's easier.
So as a disciplined investor, do you often speculate on companies like this and give them a shot, or what do you think?
If you're a disciplined person who wants to wait for the right opportunity, this probably is not the stock for you. Let it go. Let it start making money. Let it start generating profit. There are 10,000 other companies out there. Go find one that makes sense to you at a reasonable price. This one just doesn't seem like it is. Let's say they assigned a 10% profit margin to their business. That would make them $550 million a year. They're $120 billion. That's over a 200 PE. Yes, they're growing a lot. I get that. But 200 PE, even for a fast-growing company, it's only worked out a couple times in history. That's it. So I'm just avoiding it myself, but it doesn't mean you can't trade it. That's why we have Mo here. Mo looks at the charts. Financials don't matter. Fundamentals don't matter. None of that matters, right?
Correct. I think this is a great company to go and trade on a 15-minute chart, but this is also a great company to trade from a swing trading perspective. I mean, let's look at what's happened lately. Lately, they've had earnings, and now there's a lot of good news that the U.S. has lifted this travel ban. There's a lot of people coming to the United States and probably Canada. Well, I don't know about Canada now, but definitely the United States. And people are going to be staying at places. It's very good news for companies like Airbnb. Ride these little waves. When you get these moves on your stochastic, ride them up. Now it looks like we're turning and coming back down. This was maybe a little bit of an over-exaggeration. So it's going to come back down and maybe sputter down at the 50-day moving average, 200-day moving average. So these are the kind of things that you can do to make money in the short term on companies like Airbnb. There is a way to make money on these companies. It's just not long-term investing. And if you want to learn that, come to the Bid and Ask Nation and learn from me, and you'll learn all about these charts.
Without a long-term track record, Airbnb might be tough for a long-term investment, at least guessing where it might go in the future. Paul's going to pull up the stock analyzer tool and show you a company that's been around for a long time with positive financials and see how you could predict what price you should be paying. Go ahead, Paul.
All right, so Marriott is a hotel business. So it's in the travel industry for those of you people out there saying, it's not the same business. I get that. Now, look at the 8 pillars, Seth.
Yucky.
Yeah, why? Because they just had COVID happen, right? COVID hurt everybody in the travel industry, but they still bought back shares. So we're going to go to the stock analyzer tool now. We're going to look at Marriott, do a 10-year analysis, and see what we should pay for Marriott. Revenue growth. I think the revenue growth is going to come back with a vengeance. 5, 8, and 11% revenue growth. Profit margin. Let's go with 4, 7, and 10%. Free cash flow margin, 4, 7, and 10 also. PE. Let's go with 14, 15, and 16. And same with free cash flow. And guys, like usual, 12.5% return provides me the margin of safety and gives me a reason to buy the stock versus going to ETF and making 9 or 10%. Hit the analyze button. That's why. 161. No, thank you. So guys, this stock is still overpriced, but at least I can get a determination for a stock price to pay based on assumptions in the future. I can't do that with Airbnb.
Yeah.
There's no profit margin I see. It's negative 100%, 80% profit margin. They lose 80 cents on every dollar they bring in, if not more. I look at this going, okay, at least with Marriott, I have a price, and it's a brand that I know. They have a moat. They own great locations, great hotels, and they have a great brand that people look for. I think this makes way more sense. I'd rather wait for this stock to fall in half than wait for Airbnb to start making money.
The final point I bring up when I challenge you, Paul, is most people, they invest without seeing this channel. There's a lot of just talking. Airbnb's gonna be great. They're gonna take over hotels. I believe in Airbnb. It is disruptive. Is that a way you should be approaching your investments?
Absolutely not, because like I said before, airlines and cars had a big potential. Internet had the biggest potential in the world, and still the vast majority of companies went under. The vast there are basically, 3 U.S. auto manufacturers right now that have lasted the last 100 years. And there are thousands and thousands that did not survive. A 99.7% failure rate.
And two of those car companies went bankrupt.
Several times.
Needed to be
several times.
Needed to be bailed out.
So you have to decide for yourself if you're going to be a first level investor. Howard Marks talking about first level versus second level. Oh, this is a great industry. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to look at this one. Second level investor thinks, wait, if everybody thinks it's great, the price is probably going to bid up too high. It probably won't be worth it anymore. Be a second level investor. Don't be a first level investor. So guys, if you like the software, we created the software so our users who are requesting to do their own analysis without waiting for us to make videos could do so. The benefit of the software is you get everything you've seen so far, all the financial statements, everything. You get all videos, news, you get everything that's coming here soon. You get all of this, plus you get access to Seth Mo and I. You get 2 or 3 videos a day, exclusive content just on the website and just on the app. And you get 6,000 other people who bought the software. You get in a chat with them. You can discuss in a very organized way all your investment ideas because they joined us because they felt like they're on their own island, just like you do, just like we did. And that's why we created this channel. So join it, only 90 cents a day. No brainer. It can make you hundreds of thousands, if not millions, with just a few modifications. Either go to everythingmoney.com or Patreon. The benefit of everythingmoney.com is you don't get double charged the first month, and you don't get charged a sales tax yet because we're not big enough. So join it for only 90 cents a day. It's a no-brainer.
That's our final take on Airbnb. We will certainly update you on this moving forward. And stay with us. Join the community like Paul said. You'll get the software. And fondle a thumbs up on the way out. We will see you next video. Thanks for watching.